trouble.
On this next video, you're going to see a lot of welding. Most of the bars are in the car, they're bent, they're set, they're in the car. They just need to be welded up. Most of it's going to be TIG welded. I am going to MIG weld some of it, mostly to the chassis itself because it's a little harder to get down there with the torch. And it doesn't have to look extremely pretty, it's just got to be well done. So we are going to be doing some arc welding. The next batch of videos you're seeing here, my daughter Danny, did a lot of the photography work or videography work. I'm trying to get her involved out here. She's doing a great job. You'll see that the videos look a whole lot better than they did before when I just have a stationary camera or a couple of stationary cameras just trying to get different angles. She actually gets in a little closer, a little better, and again, the whole video is a ton better. So hope you enjoy.
What are you doing?
Okay, so I had to put a new bottle on. This is gas, it's a shield gas for welding. This one is 75% argon and 25% carbon dioxide. So what happens is, as the rod is coming out through this is the rod coming out here, it starts to weld and it'll corrode real bad. So you put gas through it. And so gas comes all around this part here and shields the weld as you're welding so it doesn't corrode and get all nasty. So that's what I'm doing here. And of course, anybody who welds at home knows for a fact that sooner or later you're going to run out of gas. And it's usually right in the middle of the project because, you know, that's the way it works.
What is that?
This is the regulator. So this tells you how much gas is in the tank and then how much gas you're letting out here, how much gas you're letting out through the tube and out of the gun there. So it regulates it down from, I think this was gonna have like 2,000 pounds of pressure and I put in like, I think 20 pounds went out of the gun. Kill it, we just want to cut it. So, boom. Yeah, we got like 2,200 pounds. Shooting out like 30 pounds or something. Oh, that's some. Let's see, this is still on. Look at that. Electricity was welded. Helps out immensely. Okay. Just adjust the regulator, but how much gas I want out of this thing.
Where do you want me to stand?
You can probably go around the other side and look at it. Now, when I'm welding, you don't look at the brightness.
I'll just hold it.
Yeah, this is fine to look at it.
Okay.
Okay?
Do I just like stop recording for a while? Getting ready to weld. My bad. I'm still getting used to the camera. So, why are you welding there?
Okay, so that's the down bars.
So they come from the main hoop down to the back, which holds all of this upright. So if in case of a crash, she crashes into the wall, the whole thing won't fold over on top of her.
Well, that seems important.
Yeah, that's it's always good. Always good. It's gonna be what they call an 850 certified cage, which means she'll be able to go as fast as 8.5 seconds at a quarter mile with this roll cage.
Is that fast?
About 160 miles an hour.
Huh.
So yeah. Like my stock eliminator car goes high 10s at best. So 850s is really, really fast.
Nice.
Yeah, she won't go 850s to start off with, but we'll get there eventually. Not at all. All right. It becomes one with the car. Whew.
Nice.
Okay. Put big plates here and cover this whole thing up here. But it's all welded directly to the frame here, and the two big points up here and all the way up front are all directly to the frame. So it's not going anywhere.
Cool.
Okay. Alright. Okay, let me go hook up the TIG welder and I can TIG the rest of the bars.
So what are you doing?
Okay, so this is straight argon. This is for my TIG welder, tungsten inert gas, TIG. This is a very old unit. This is a Miller, which is an excellent brand, but this is a dial arc high frequency. It's a very old welder. I think this thing is probably 1979 or so, maybe 1980s, early 80s. I got this from a guy named Bob Harris, who was my boss when I was at the machine shop.
Right.
He used to weld with us all the time on aluminum heads. He built 2 pro stock race cars with this welder. He built a, what was that thing? A Chevrolet Monza pro stock car back in the early 80s, I think. And then in like mid 80s, 1986, 87-ish, he built a Trans Am or a Firebird pro stock car with this welder. So if nothing else, it's got good juju with it. But anyway, yeah, so this is just straight argon gas for TIG welding. It does the same thing, it shields it. I'll show you this. You just pop this on. Wrenches over there. Oh, here's one.
Go.
Basically what this does is, this is the torch. Okay. So this is the torch hand, and this is the tungsten. This is where your electricity comes out to weld, and the cup around it is for the shielding. So the bigger the cup, the bigger the shield. So a lot of times if I'm in a real tight area, I can get the tungsten close, but I can't get the small shields to it. So I put the big cup on there to shield the whole thing. So this has, this particular one is a water cooled unit. So it actually has water coming up inside, cooling the whole torch down and then going out. And you can just go out to a drain. Eventually I want to get there's a cooler you can get that actually hooks up to the welder, and it actually cools the water down and recycles it back around. I don't have that yet.
What does the water do?
It actually cools the torch so you can weld longer and hold on to it longer, and, you can actually weld a longer time because it's cooled. The other kind is called an air-cooled torch, which doesn't have any water through it, it's just the torch itself. And I don't know what the limitations are on it, but I know there's limitations on how long you can weld. And then this uses, instead of a rod, or instead of metal coming out of the torch end, it uses a rod like this. This is a filler rod, so you basically, you use the torch to start melting the metal, get in a pool, and then you dab, and you just add filler in all the way around. It usually makes a better weld and a prettier weld, so that's why I'm doing it. This is a mild steel cage instead of chromoly. And I did this for a couple reasons. One, it's cheaper. It is heavier than chromoly, but we live in Piedmont, Oklahoma, and Piedmont is known for not having the greatest roads on the planet. So there's lots of bumps and things like that, and it could be a rough ride sometimes. This will have some forgiveness on things like that. Chromoly can actually crack over time with abuse and things like that. So I just figured, let's go mild steel. It's totally legal. NHR is okay with it. We can actually MIG weld it if we want to, but I like to TIG weld it because A, I like TIG welding, and B, it actually makes a better looking weld. It's a little prettier than MIG welding. Now, I'm sure there's guys out there that can MIG weld a whole lot better than I can and make it prettier. I'm not there yet. So I go ahead and TIG weld it to make it prettier and do a better job. That's it.
Cool. This is quieter than the other one. I was not expecting that.
All right, off.
Oh. Got all red.
Yeah, that's the melting. Melting of the metal. I already hit that part. Okay. You don't see a little brush with a wooden handle on it, do you? A little brush with a wooden handle on it all the time.
That toothbrush looking thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's right up there.
Can you grab that for me? Or anybody?
Yeah, I pretended to brush my teeth with it earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't move it. I just picked it up and looked at it. The frog?
Toad.
There you go. There he is. I am struggling to learn how this works. Please stand by.
What the hell is the world coming to?
On. Off. Not bad.
Next thing on here is gussets. So NHRA states that if you cannot weld all the way around the top, you must gusset all the tubes together, which makes good sense. I'm welding everything I can. There is a couple tubes I probably got about, maybe a 1/4 inch on the top that I can't get to, but that's what these gussets are going to be for. So I'm going to show you what we got. came over here and I took measurements on the inside. Here. So from, well, if I can see it, from here to here. So that angle right there is 105 degrees, but you are working with the outside angle. So on the outside angle, it comes up to like 75 degrees. So you take 75 degrees, divide it by 2, that's the angle you need to put your cutter on when you notch it. So these notches here are done still with the same 1 5/8 notcher, but they are done at I think a 37.5 degree angle, and it fits really well up in here. If I can get it straight, it'll fit well. There you go. So, I'll back this off. Anyway, fits really well. Just gotta get the right angle in here, and boom, just like that. It's really good. So I'm going to put gussets down here. This is the dash bar going into the main down bar in the front, both sides. I'm going to put gussets up top going from the halo bar or header bar, whatever you want to call it, to the down bar over there. I'm going to put a gusset from the main hoop to the down bar there, and from the main hoop to the down bars in the back there on both sides of the car. So today I'm just going to be going in there and cleaning everything up really well. And I've noticed when I'm TIG welding, cleanliness is the most important thing. The cleaner I get the metal, the better my welds turn out to be. I mean, I have some welds that are okay, and I have some welds that are fantastic. And I've noticed it's the cleanliness. The cleaner they get, the better it welds. Welcome back, everybody. I haven't been videoing a lot lately. I've been thrashing pretty hard on this thing. So I just want to let everybody know that everything is fully welded. There's some welds that I'm proud of, and there's some welds I'd like to hide under a rock with, but it came out pretty decent. I just painted it, just got done painting it. I figured you guys don't need to see a video of somebody painting something. So, but I went ahead and I was gonna do it body color, but I thought of any kind of addition I need to make for anything. Like I might need to add a bar up this way for the seat belts, or you know, any kind of additional bars or anything I got to put in this thing. It's going to be a whole lot easier to dust this black paint off, weld on a bar, and dust some black paint back on it. So that's why I went black with it. I figured it'll be fine. I got to do the inside bars right there with paint. I didn't want to paint myself into a trap, so I painted everything else. Top, front bars, back bars, down bars, underneath everything. I'm going to start making some panels to go over top of this now, and then those will be painted body color. But it came out pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm sure there's a couple little spaces that could be better, but it definitely could have been worse. So I think it came out okay. Like I said, I haven't done any roll bar stuff in a very long time, and the last time I did it, I had somebody else doing all the welding for me. So anyway, just a quick update. Just want to let everybody know what's going on. I'm going to let this paint dry, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back and pull all this tin foil out, or aluminum foil out, and start wiring this bad boy. I start wiring it and plumbing it. I have all the stuff. I got the new box from Race Wire Solutions, and Brian out there is awesome. He walked me through it, and I'll show you that in just a second. Anyway, like I'm saying, so Brian at Raised Wire Solutions, he did a great job with me. I called him. He walked me through a bunch of things. This is the first drag and drive car I've built. So he actually told me some information from his other drag and drive customers and what they've done and have. So we went this route. We got their module, and this thing is some kind of badass. I mean, it's got everything set up in here. The only thing I can think to make it a little better would be to maybe label it some way, but I have a label maker and I'll probably go ahead and label everything myself. Other than that, I mean, this thing's awesome. It's got the fuses here, it's got all the relays in one spot. I am putting this in the car under the dash right behind the glove box door. So if we need to access this, which I'm hoping we don't have a lot of problems, but if we need to access this, we'll be able to just open the glove box door, boom, there everything is. And this thing fits, I mean, it just fits so good. Oops. I was gonna say that and can't get it closed. And then it's got all the stuff for the Holly. And it's got the switch panel here, one of the outputs, and the other output. Now, they're both marked output, but maybe it's just my terminology, but some of it's inputs. So one of this harnesses, and I'll have to look it all up, but one of the harnesses will actually go to everything I'm inputting, like the turn signals, the headlights, any controls, the button for the trans brake, I guess line lock, things like that. So anything that's got a control to it that you have to depress a button or turn a switch on to make it activate goes through that. And then the other outputs goes to the part itself. So, you know, when I hit the trans brake button, it goes through the relay and activates the trans brake and lights and so forth, so on. So it's just a really cool setup. He put, you know, I gave him the dimensions I thought I was going to need on the length of the wires from the control panel. He said he added a little more. It's always easier to, you know, throw a loop in it and tuck it in there than it is to try to, you know, stretch wires, because my wire stretcher broke last year, so I don't have it anymore. But yeah, we just got starter, ignition, interior lights, which will be these lights under here, LEDs, awesome. Data log, and then I got 3 auxiliaries, and everything's just, you know, that simple. And start buttons, spring, and then I actually put this in here too. This is an e-stop, so that shuts everything down. And again, my daughter's driving this car, so I want her to have easy access to, if she has a problem, done. This all bolts right up to the roll cage, and I'll probably put it on the header bar right up top, but I might actually have to put another bar in. It just depends. I'll have to look at it. Of course, then I'll have to repaint. But this is the control switch. It's set up to go on the Motion Raceworks steering column that we got, and it's got turn signals and a horn. And then it's got lights, so we got, this is probably just running lights, I guess. Oops. Hold this steady. Running lights, and then off headlights, and even high beams. So, looks pretty simple to wire up. Again, he's got it wired in with Deutsch connectors, and then I'll go from the Deutsch connectors over to the module, and then out to the lights. So it's a good setup here. It looks a little intimidating at first. You know, you pull this thing out and you're like, holy crap, what am I gonna do with those wires? But the way he's got it listed and written out, it's very simple. If you have some kind of wiring experience. You know, I've been wiring cars, and I was a generator technician for years, so wiring things is not a big deal. So if you have any experience at all, it shouldn't be too big a deal.
battery positive, battery negative. They go right to the side of the module again, just making this so simple. And again, here's your rest of your wires over here. But it should be, you know, I'm not going to say anything simple, but he makes it as simple as possible, I think. So he does a really good job. I'm very happy with it. The only thing I didn't think of, and I'm going to have to call him and see what we can do about that, but the only thing I didn't think of was windshield wipers. So probably be a good idea, you know, especially these drag and drives. It tends to rain, for crying out loud. But we run into some rain, we're probably going to want some wipers. I'll probably just have to do like an external switch, maybe just throw it on the dash or something, make it simple. Shouldn't be that big a deal. Anyway, but I just want to let you guys know that Racewire Solutions, good stuff. I'm very impressed so far. I'm sure I'll be even more impressed when it goes in. Oh, that was what I was going to tell you. He also sent me, I put dual pumps in the tank. So full set of relays for one for each pump. So we can run them separate and we can run them together. Anyway, again, Racewire Solutions, good stuff.